Ladies and gentlemen, Brewer Youth Sports gratefully thanks the following area businesses for their support: Dog Chase, Taylor Network Communications, Bangor Daily News, Brewer Firefighters Local 2162, Cat's Pizza of Camden, White Sporting Goods, Broadway Exxon,
Brewer against Waterville here at Doyle Field. A perfect night. Yeah, this is what you picture. If only it could be like this throughout the football season. Everyone would be here every night because it doesn't get much nicer than this. The captain's meeting out in midfield. Tim, being a fellow official, why don't you tell us who's out there working the game tonight?
Well, we have a very experienced crew tonight. Mr. Neil Waterman will be your referee. Your umpire will be Mr. Will Raymond. Your line judge will be Doug Ferguson. Your linesman will be Mr. Bruce Anderson. And your back judge will be Mr. Scott Heath.
Most people here with a light jacket on, but football, somebody once said it's a three-season sport where you start out, if you're playing a Saturday afternoon at the start of the season, it's like summertime. Shortly it turns into fall, but then by the end of the season, you could have a lot of snow on the ground and it's just like winter. Today, we can't complain about this night here.
No, you know, this is being Brewer Days this weekend, celebration. There'll be fireworks and so on and so forth going on. There was a beautiful chicken barbecue before the game that smelled delightful.
Did smell very good. It was hard to stay down on the field, I'll give you that. Waterville wins. Looks like Brewer won the toss and deferred, so Waterville will receive. Brewer will kick off going from right to left to get things going. Brewers coach Don Farnham in his first season, taking over for Ed Ortego, who left to go be back with his family in Louisiana. So
very interesting you point that out. This is Don's second stint with the Witches. He coached them once before. He's back under the helm again, and he wants to take this team back to the state championship. And he was very confident earlier when I was talking to him that this team could get back there. Although they are young, Nate, you did point out they did lose 3 1,000-yard rushers. Not too common. You see that in high school. Last week they had a big victory over Morris. And in that game, James Butts, the fullback, 12 carries, 103 yards. And the Maker kid, 74 yards and 17 carries, 2 touchdowns. So, the ground game's back for Brewer.
And it's going to have to be against Waterville. They're going to have to control the ball because Waterville comes in. Despite the fact Brewer won the state championship last year with the losses that they had to graduation, Waterville comes in with just more experience and more age all over. When you look down the roster, half of the Brewer players are sophomores. That's difficult at any level. And
with Waterville last year, 6-4, they lost in the regional semifinals to a Winslow team. Everyone knows Winslow normally a powerhouse here in Eastern Maine, but they're returning 14 starters. When you return 14 starters, that's a lot of experience coming back for you. And early on, I'm going to have to join everyone else's predictions. I really think Waterville could be a contender for the state championship just as much as Brewer is.
Dylan Fitzpatrick to kick off for the Witches. Back to receive, Caleb Johnson and Joel Allen. Johnson is on the left. I guess it's not Allen. They mixed it up on us, and it's Mark Bernhardt doing the returning. This one will go all the way to Bernhardt, who picks it up. Doesn't have anywhere to go. He gets brought down at the 24-yard line. No return on that. Waterville will start first down and 10.
Looks like on that play right there in a scouting report, they didn't want Waterville to return the football. They just had a little squib quick down the right side of the field and kept him inside the 25-yard line.
The Waterville offense is run by senior captain Nathan Lancaster. He has fullback Mike Bernhardt behind him. Joel Allen's the flanker. Tyler Joseph, split end. And Stephen Gasky, wide receiver. All those players right there, the skill positions, all seniors for the Purple Panthers.
Bernhardt last week, 89 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns in a victory over Handman Academy. So he's going to be a threat in the backfield.
First down and 10. Handoff goes to Bernhardt. Often we'll see Bernhardt being the only back in the backfield. He got the call right there, so he does a little bit of everything in the backfield, whether it's blocking or carrying the ball. And
also did a great job that time of following all of his linemen. They had a little delayed trap right on the left-hand side that way, and the first carry for 8 yards.
Second down, just underway here in Brewer. First possession of the game, Lancaster under center. We'll get to his offensive lineman after this play. They pass out in the flats. It's incomplete. He had a man open, but they couldn't hang on. The intended receiver was Sean Stenson. Off his fingertips, that pass could have picked up 15, 20 yards, but they weren't able to connect. The offensive line, tight end Sean Stenson, the intended receiver on that play. Left tackle John Ringer, guard Nick Gatz, center Paul LePage, right guard Chris Janess, and right tackle Jordan Schulman. It's the Waterville starting offense. We'll get to the Brewer defense after this play from the shotgun on 3rd down and 3. Lancaster hands off to Bernhardt. Bernhardt picks up a 1st down, crosses the 40-yard line. So from the shotgun, they still give him the ball. That time Bernhardt lined up right next to his quarterback. He went to his left and was able to find the hole and pick up yardage.
Great little tackle trap play. They use it, looks like the first time of the game, but this time they ran it inside a little more, right off the 5 hole, picked up 6 yards and a 1st down for the Panthers.
The front 5 for the Brewer defense: Anthony No, Matt Wilson, Devin Fitzpatrick, Ralph Kamek, and Ryan Babin. The linebackers are Doug Nodden and James Butts, also Tim Bush, the linebacker. Caleb Smith and Ricky Adams are the 2 cornerbacks, and Tristan Oldmixon, the free safety. 1st down and 10, spotted at the 40-yard line. Lancaster to pass. Under pressure, gets away from it, gets to the outside, picks up a block, and gets across midfield to the 47-yard line. He picked up a key block there from Bernhardt, who was coming back after the Bernhardt was the play action. He faked going left, and when Lancaster ran back to that side, Bernhardt was able to pick someone off.
Did a great job of keeping his composure inside the pocket. When he had nothing, he stepped up, which a good quarterback's supposed to do. Read his first block, which he did, ran off the left side, 10, 11 yards, and another Waterville 1st down.
So we've seen 4 Waterville plays. 2 have been, well, they call 1 a pass, but really it was supposed to be 2 pass plays, 2 run plays. So that's the balanced offense that Waterville wants, at least Coach Frank Knight talked about before the game. Another shotgun situation. This one, hand off to Bernhardt. Short gain there. Stop made. Doug Nodden on the hit.
You know, on the front line for Brewer should be very used to hitting, because Matt Wilson and Devin Fitzpatrick have been hockey players at Brewer now for 4 years, so they're used to knocking the boards and knocking people around.
And those guys were key members of the state championship team, so they want to end their senior season the way they ended their junior seasons. 2nd down, Waterville to pass, incomplete. The intended target, Caleb Johnson, couldn't hang on. Coverage there that time was provided by the linebacker getting out there. That's Anthony No, or defensive end. He was back ready for that, and he was in the right position to at least put a little pressure on the intended receiver.
Yes, he did. He did a great job of reading the quarterback's eyes, got out. He had flat responsibility. He picked the tight end coming up from out of the backfield and knocked the ball away. Puts Waterville now on a 3rd and 9.
We want to mention one of our sponsors, Quality Jewelers. New location at Penobscot Plaza in Bangor. They specialize in fine jewelry. Flags down on the play.
Penalty marker down.
Legal substitution called against Waterville.
Well, looks
likely broke the huddle with more than 11 players.
Broke the huddle with 12 players, which is after the ready for play. Can't do that. It's going to put him in 3rd and 14 now.
One of those calls, I don't necessarily like the way that rule's written, because if the officials don't catch the fact they broke the huddle with 12 and let the play go, it's 15 yards. And if they do catch it, then it's only 5 yards. So it's almost you're asking the official to help the team.
Yeah. But in a way, it's called we call it preventive officiating too. You know, anything that we can do to
try and get them only 5 yards.
Yeah, you're right.
3rd down. Play action. Lancaster rolls out to his right, under pressure, gets it away. Incomplete. Heavy pressure put on by Brewer, leading the way there.
Tristan Oldmixon right there, and also number 3.
Matt Wilson was the one Matt Wilson brought down Lancaster after he threw the ball.
And Caleb Smith right there also for Brewer. And Oldmixon in double coverage, he tried to throw that into.
He threw it long. He got hammered after the play.
Number 8, Joel Allen in punt formation.
The official deciding it was still part of the same motion and legal play. So Waterville forced a punt from midfield. Punt bounces around. It's slippery out there, as you can tell. Going for the ball was Ricky Adams, and he tried to stop. And this time of night, on a warm day, the grass is going to get some condensation and dew on it, and that's what happened right there.
Now.
Well, Brewer holds Waterville on their first possession of the game. They're going to take over on offense after this break. You're watching the Page Employment Seaboard Securities Game of the Week. Welcome back, everyone. Brewer set to get going on their first offensive play of the game. It's the first quarter, 9:58 to play, no score. Handoff goes to Rob Burnham. He goes around the right side. We're going to set the Brewer starting offense. Ricky Adams, the quarterback, James Butts, the fullback, Rob Burnham, who just made that carry, tailback. Split end, Bobby Coombs, and wide receiver, Tristan Oldmixon. Gain of, we'll call it 3. Second down and 7 for the Witches.
Yeah, Adams was a backup quarterback last year, and I remember in their exhibition game, he took one in for a scramble, went out around the right side, ran 63 yards in for a score. So he's a veteran.
Brewer moving before the snap. That'll cost me 5 yards. The front 7 for the Witches. Ryan Babin, tight end, Ralph Kamek, and Devin Fitzpatrick are the tackles. Matt Wilson and Scott Helmke, the guards. Mike Campbell, the center. I guess that's only 6 because they don't have 2 tight ends. So the front 6 for Brewer.
You got it.
We'll set the Waterville defense after this play. The 5-yard penalty moves it back to make it 2nd and 12.
This is one thing we talked about at the beginning. Waterville usually plays mistake-free football because of their veterans, and these are key mistakes, especially down here where Brewer can't afford to have 2nd and long, 3rd and long situations.
Adams, the quarterback. Hands off to Butts. Good hole for Butts.
Well, number 72, Mr. Wilson, Matt Wilson, just pulled right to the outside, knocked his block to the outside, and of course he ran right off the inside of him and picked up at least 5 or 6 yards on that play.
They'll take that if they could get it, but they don't want to do that when it's 2nd down and 13. They want it to be 1st down and 10, and you gain those 5 yards or 6 yards. It's 3rd down now. Tight formation for the Witches. Oldmixon is the furthest one on the left. They hand off, they run right.
Just smash mouth football, and looks like it's going to be real close to a 1st down. Great offensive line play by that time by the Witches as they just pushed the defensive line of Waterville forward for 4 or 5 yards that time.
Tim Bush was the ball carrier, and he is going to be close, but stopped a yard shy of the 1st down. So it is 4th, and Brewer sends out their kicking team. Dylan Fitzpatrick is the punter. Back to receive. Joel Allen is one of the return men. He's back there along with number 31, Caleb Johnson. Fitzpatrick gets the kick away. It goes towards Joel Allen. He takes it at his 37. Picks up a block, then gets hit, met, and brought down. Good hit. First contact made by Delray Meeker.
Another hockey player.
No, looked like it right there. So both teams scoreless in their first possession. We're going to take a break with 7:46 to play in the first quarter. You're watching the Page Employment Seaboard Securities Game of the Week.
When you have an important point to make, don't clutter up the ad with all sorts of extra information. If Page Employment doesn't charge workers a fee, then we should just say that. Page Employment doesn't charge workers a fee. No fee. There, we said it.
Jim Small Engines on Snow's Corner Road in Orrington has what you need when it comes to tackling yard work. Whether you're looking for expert service and repair from guys with more years of experience than they may care to admit, or if you're in the market for a new mower, snow blower, string trimmer, generator, or pressure washer, Jim Small Engines on Snow's Corner Road in Orrington is the right place to go. Call Jim Small Engines at 825-3527 or visit them on the web at jimsmallengines.com.
Welcome back, everyone. We want to thank one of our sponsors, Carefree Windows and Siding, for your siding, window, and roofing needs. Everyone at Carefree wishes a successful football season to all involved. Waterville, 1st down and 10, right up the middle. Big run by number 37, Chris Smith. Chris Smith didn't start, but making an impact right there. Big run up the middle, and From the 44, he brings it. Let's see where they end up spotting the ball down at the 26-yard line.
Great play that time by Waterville. John Ringer, Nick Gates coming across the opposite side of the field, kicking the Brewer linebackers on the right side of the line out. He runs right up the 5-hole.
Big run by Smith. So it's first down and 10, deep in Brewer territory. Back under center. We saw a lot of the shotgun from Lancaster. He hands off to Smith. This time met at the line, but breaks a tackle and gets to the outside. Cuts it back towards the middle, and Brewer's going to have to make that first tackle if they want to. Devin Fitzpatrick was there to make the hit, but Smith was able to get through that and gain another 7 or 8 yards after contact.
He did a great job, but the one thing that you teach the kids is you just can't lay the shoulder pads into them. You've got to wrap the arms, and that's what happened that time. 3 or 4 Brewer kids are right there to make the tackle, but if you don't wrap their arms, and he's a good back, he spun out of it.
9-yard gain, second down and 1. Big hit at the line that time. Waterville going back to the run game. Stayed pretty steady on it that time. Caleb Johnson, the ball carrier, we saw him mixing it up off run pass on the first possession, but we've seen nothing but runs. And the way Chris Smith ran and then Caleb Johnson right there. Well, Johnson doesn't pick up a first though, so it's third down.
Yeah, good defensive line play that time by Brewer. Holding the line, Devin Fitzpatrick from his no guard position comes in to make the tackle.
Back to the shotgun on third down is Lancaster. He's got Caleb Johnson to his left. Lancaster keeps it after faking the handoff to Johnson. He gets outside. He'll pick up a first down and then gets dragged down after crossing the 5-yard line. Tackle made by Tristan Oldmixon, but Waterville moving the ball here, first down and goal from the 5.
Great job by the Panthers that time. That's the third or fourth play. They have gone right up the gut. They must have seen something in the films and from scouting, knowing that even though Brewers get some big boys right there, the defense they're playing, they're just kicking everybody to the outside, running right up the middle.
12-yard gain there. Lancaster had 17 one other time, so he's carried the ball twice for 29 yards. Waterville with 4 guys who have carried the ball. We saw a lot of that last week from them against Hamden. Mike Bernhardt going around the left side. He is into the end zone. Touchdown, Waterville. But there's a flag down on the play. In the backfield, it's holding against Waterville, so that will come back.
Well, they did a great job of sending him in motion, just waiting for his blocks to cut back to the inside. But, of course, when we see the yellow hanky down there, good news for the Witches.
We are scoreless with 5:35 to play here in the first quarter. You're watching the Page Employment Seaboard Securities Game of the Week. We want to thank Bangor Optical. They're on Mount Hope Avenue in Bangor. And check out their new office, Eye Center Optical, located in the Weber Building by EMMC in Bangor. After the penalty, the ball gets moved out to the 16-yard line. So they get to replay first down. That's the good news for Waterville. In the game, Chris Smith back there at tailback. Lancaster in the shotgun. Smith still behind him, so it's kind of a mini shotgun because he still has a running back behind him. A lot of movement in the backfield. They give it to Caleb Johnson, go around the right side. He spins inside the 5, and he's down at the 3-yard line. Call it the 4-yard line.
Just the same play as they ran before, but from the opposite side. Nothing different.
They had 2 running backs, one going in each direction, and then they also had Smith going straight forward. So a lot of misdirection in the backfield, and it took Brewer a second to realize who had the ball. It worked for Waterville.
Brewer's almost meeting him at the line of scrimmage, but what they're facing is one-on-one blocking when he gets around the corner, and he's very good at reading the block and cutting back to the inside.
So it's second down and goal at the 4. Flags down on the plays. Lancaster wanted to give the ball to Smith. Encroachment against Waterville. Somebody lined up in the neutral zone, apparently.
Well, when you get down this close to the goal line, it moves them back to the 9 now, but this is a second opportunity Waterville's had to score, and Brewer's staying in the game because of penalties.
Brewer pushed him back a couple plays ago on a holding call, then Waterville got it inside the 5 again, and this penalty moves it back to the 9-yard line where it's second down and goal.
Don't be surprised here like we've seen the whole first quarter, but I can't see them throwing the football maybe a delay trap. We'll take one guy right up the middle here.
Bernhardt goes in motion. Lancaster rolls out to his right, looks to pass, going to keep it himself, goes for the corner of the end zone. He's in, touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown run by Nathan Lancaster.
Did a great job that time of spacing everything out, waiting for his blocks and seeing what he had to open. He saw the pylon and just headed for the end zone.
Just snuck it in that corner, and that's all you need to do. 6-0. Waterville has the lead with 4:20 to play in the first. Joel Allen will attempt the extra point. Flag down on the play. There is movement. Left side of the Waterville line moved. So that won't count. They'll push it back 5 yards and they'll re-kick that one. An impressive drive for Waterville.
This is the 4th penalty they've had on this drive, though.
Yeah, and they still were able to overcome that and get into the end zone, all on the ground.
Yeah, they've had 5 penalties so far, 25 yards, but the ground game has been just huge. Smith in there right now, 38 yards. Last week he had 55 yards, so he's on pace for a good game as well.
That whole drive happening on the ground, and they were able to move the ball downfield and seemed like relative ease. It seemed like the only trouble they had was against themselves. So this extra point is a little more interesting. The kick from Joel Allen is no good. So it's 6-0. Waterville leading with 4:20 to play in the first quarter. We'll be back after this. You're watching the Page Employment Seaboard Securities Game of the Week. Welcome back, everyone. Brewer trailing Waterville at their own home field 6-0 here in the first quarter. We want to thank Jim Small Engine for making this possible. From mowers to snow blowers and all your yard equipment needs. Snow's Corner Road in Orrington, sales and expert service. Also thank Bangor Canvas, covering all your canvas needs. Waterville will kick off.
I think this is going to be a key possession for Brewer. They need to show that, yeah, you can score on us, but we can score too. This is going to be a key possession, I think, for Brewer.
Joel Allen to do the kicking off. We want to mention Tim Bush got a hand on that extra point attempt, so we'll credit him with a blocked PAT. Deep kick, fielded, Delray Meeker. Looking to get around the outside on the right, flag down. 2 flags down, and I think they're going to be 2 different penalties because they're not in the same area.
We'll wait and see. They'll sort everything out.
We want to thank the corner store. Gabby wishes everyone the best of luck, and Northeastern Log Homes, quality log homes. If you enjoy watching this game and you want to purchase a DVD of the game, high-quality DVDs will be available. You can call Eric Baxter at 991-9615. Again, 991-9615 to purchase a DVD of tonight's game. One penalty is a hold against Brewer. The other one's a personal foul face mask against Waterville. Those penalties offset, so guess what?
Do it all over.
We get to kick again.
A lot of penalties in this game so far.
There have been a real lot of penalties. Offensively, Brewer not able to do too much in their first possession. They only gained 14 yards. 14 yards of offense so far for Brewer. On the other side, Waterville was just able to move the ball down.
It'll be interesting because it appears after this first quarter, Nate, that both teams use a lot of misdirection plays. One play to set up another.
So we kick again. This time it's not grabbed by Meeker. Instead, it's Ricky Adams. He tries to go right up the middle. Looked like there was a hole, but that closed quickly, and Adams goes down at the 30-yard line. First down and 10 for Brewer.
Not too often you put your quarterback in there on kick returns, but I noticed that last year when they had Porter back there as well. Brewer's the only team around here I know of that will put your quarterback in there on kick returns.
Yeah, and he's playing safety and quarterback too, so he's going to take a licking before the end of the night's out.
Well, he's pretty athletic to be able to play all those positions.
That's true.
But he's from a family of railroaders, so you know they're tough iron boys too.
Brewer sends 2 men out to the left. Adams, family of iron workers supporting him in this game. Hands off, they go up the middle. James Butts. Stop there, hit made. We'll give it to Lance Cody. 5-yard gain. To see Brewer could take that they take that every middle.
So, I mean, every time you can get 4 or 5 yards on a play, you'll take it. And let's see what they do as far as setting up that play. They run up the middle this time. We'll see if they do a misdirection wide off tackle this time.
They would definitely take 5 yards up the middle every time. Similar formation, 2 men split to the left, 2 backs behind Adams. Play looked like it was a little strange start.
Adams dropped the ball. He didn't get a handle on it that time.
Waterville got off the line in a hurry. They seem to be getting off the line on that play there faster than the Brewer offensive lineman.
I don't know if the offensive lineman for Brewer realized the ball was snapped.
It didn't look like they did, and maybe what happens once in a while is, since there was a fumble, maybe Adams was expecting it. Maybe Matt.
He kind of had his head still up when he was looking at it, and all of a sudden he went for the ball real quick and just tried to see what he could do.
Maybe what happens is maybe the center snapped it on the wrong count. Once in a while, that's the downside of being a center. If you forget the snap count and you start early, guess what? The play goes on, and everyone else stays there and waits. But we don't know for sure, so we're not going to blame Mike Campbell on that one. We're just speculating. On 3rd down and 2, Brewer swarmed and nothing.
Well, they tried another misdirection play, but I can tell you right now, when nothing happened that time, it looked like they've got a hold up here.
Delray Meeker got the call, and he loses yardage. 2 flags down.
If this is a hold on Brewer, Tim, I don't think they did a very good job holding. If you get negative yards.
Because he looked like he wanted to cut back to the inside, but there were 3 guys blocking. But as soon as I saw the flag go down, it looks like the reason why he was able to bounce to the outside is because they were holding the interior lineman, not letting them get a pursuit.
Waterville did get a good rush in there, though.
Sorry, guys. I think there are 2 penalties here. I think one of them came after the play. There's some pushing going on after the play. So I think one of these is a dead ball. Waterville will then get the choice about the live ball foul, and then they can push him back. I'm guessing that they can push him back another 15 after that.
It could be. He may decline the run and then just take the dead ball, so it could be 4th down and forever. Or
we have holding. That's declined. Personal foul, dead ball foul. Yeah. So they'll keep the play and then move them back 15. So really they lost 5 on the play and then another 15 on the penalty. So that's 20 yards Brewer loses on one play.
It was a smart decision on Waterville's part too, and that's you hate to ask it because in college they ask the coaches, but you put that kind of a situation in a high school ball player. Neil did a good job that time of explaining it to the kid to make the right choice.
Well, you could have 4th down and 22 or 4th down and 27, or 3rd down and 27, I should say. Anyway, the punt is off. Fitzpatrick's punt is fielded in Waterville territory. Crossing into Brewer territory at the 33-yard line was Caleb Johnson.
Well, Brewer had 3 guys down there to meet him. The only problem was he was moving around a little too quick, and Brewer's got to learn to put their shoulder into him and not stick their arms out and make arm tackling, or it's going to be a long night for the Witches.
Johnson picked up a great block from Allen back there. The Brewer defender was right there. Allen was able to block him, and he was able to get to that outside and pick up even more yardage.
So great field position for the Purple Panthers, who already lead 6-0 here in the first quarter. 2:35 to play. They start the drive at the 35-yard line. Play action. Able to get the ball away still is Lancaster, but it's incomplete, intended for Tyler Joseph. Good pressure put on that time by a couple of Witches. One of them,
Caleb Smith, number 3, and Tristan Olmix are right there.
We have a flag on the far side of the field as well, guys.
ineligible man downfield against Waterville.
Boy, we talked about kind of mistake-free football, and we sure have not seen that here in the first quarter.
Has to be 8 or 9 penalties this quarter in one quarter.
We have 6 on Waterville and 3 on Brewer.
And some have been declined. Those don't even count as penalties.
I'm sure Mr. Knight at halftime is going to have a few things to, and even though probably I should say at the end of the first quarter, he's going to have a few things to say to his ball players.
Brewer declines the penalty, so it's 2nd down and 10, so that penalty won't count either. Ball stays at the 35-yard line. That little shotgun formation, Lancaster hands off. Chris Smith gets the call, and a bunch of witches meet him there after a gain of 3.
First one laying the lick right there is number 57, Devin Fitzpatrick, captain for the Witches.
That shows right there that Smith is a very strong guy. He had like 6 witches pushing him back, and he was still on his feet for the longest time. So Smith, he has some good leg strength, and it's going to take a lot of people to bring him down if he continues the way he is.
So Waterville, who started this drive at the Brewer 35, is facing a 3rd down and 7. Back under center, Lancaster. He mixes it up whether he's under center in the shotgun. He rolls out to his right. Finds a man complete. Caleb Johnson catches the ball at the 20-yard line. Lancaster just rolling out to his right, taking his time. He had 2 guys he could choose from, one short, one deep, and he hit Johnson, who was the deeper of the 2.
What Waterville's doing, all they're doing is what we call flooding the zone. They're sending a man deep into the zone and one coming right in behind the linebackers, and he's picked him up the last couple times. Unfortunately, this is the first time he's been able to make a connection, though. But he made the connection at the right time.
He did on 3rd down and 7, so it's 1st down. Handoff up the middle of Chris Smith. Smith driving before he was met by Tristan Oldmixon.
Great job that time of the Brewer line collapsing, making sure nothing can happen.
I think they're going to want to hold them to less than that on 1st down, though, because it's a gain of 6, maybe 7. 2nd down.
4 carries, 47 yards for Smith so far in this game.
He is the lone back behind Lancaster on this play. Bernard is to the right, goes in motion, and guess what? Another flag. There's been a lot of flags on the play so far in this game. Offside against Brewer.
That should give Waterville a 1st down, too.
And it will be a 1st down on the 5-yard penalty, and it's inside the 10 now.
I'm sure this isn't the way both coaches wanted to start the game with this many penalties early on. Usually you want to try as close to them as mistake-free football as you possibly can.
It sure has not been. 38 seconds in running here in the 1st quarter. 6-0 Waterville leads. Last time they were inside the 10, they got pushed back because of penalties, but ended up scoring a touchdown anyway. See what happens here with Lancaster taking the snap. He hands off to Bernhardt. Down at the 5-yard line.
Did a great job that time. Another misdirection play. Fitzpatrick and Wilson were right there, but they couldn't make the first hit. And he keeps the legs driving and picks up 3 or 4 yards on the play.
Anthony No ends up bringing him down. Down at the 5. 2nd down and goal from the 5. But that will be the last play of the 1st quarter. Waterville will start at the Brewer 5-yard line for the 2nd quarter when we return. You're watching the Page Employment Seaboard Securities Game of the Week.
For 30 years, Bangor families have had their eyeglass prescriptions filled at Bangor Optical Center on Mount Hope Avenue in Bangor. You will always find licensed opticians on duty at Bangor Optical Center, offering a tremendous selection of styles, and with the Bangor Optical Best Price Guarantee, you will be wearing the eyeglasses you need at the best price. Quality, value, service, and style. It's Bangor Optical Center, 336 Mount Hope Avenue in Bangor.
No matter how you stack it, Page Employment has jobs.
Welcome back to Doyle Field, everyone. Brewer and Waterville, with Waterville leading 6-0 here at the start of the second quarter. Waterville threatening again. They have the ball on the 5-yard line. And they will end up walking into the end zone. Chris Smith, he got hit at the line, but not even close to being brought down, and he just waltzes in.
Not even close that time. He did a great job of taking the first hit, and we can just see him keeping the legs pumping, and he just was so determined to get into the end zone.
I'm sure that's exactly how Waterville wanted to start this second quarter.
12-0 they lead now. And they missed the extra point the first time. Of course, that was a longer attempt than usual, as a 25-yard extra point attempt instead of the normal 20-yard attempt because of a penalty.
They're probably going to, I think they're going to probably go for 2 here.
Yeah, that would make sense after missing the first one. And that is how they line up. Lancaster with one back behind him. That's Mike Bernhardt. In motion is Smith. Rolls out to his right, an option play. He pitches to Bernhardt, and Bernhardt gets in for the conversion. Waterville gets the 2 points, and they lead 14-0.
Well, nothing special about that time. It's the first time we've seen the option play, but Bernhardt just does a great job of picking up the blocks, and once again, he goes in for the extra point untouched.
14-0 Waterville leads early in the second quarter. We'll be back after this. You're watching the Page Employment Seaboard Securities Game of the Week.
Security. You know what it means, and now you know where to find it. Seaboard. If you're responsible for a school, business, healthcare facility, or any other organization, the only word you need to know when it comes to keeping your facility secure is Seaboard. Because your students, customers, patients, employees, all the people who depend on you can depend on us. You just have to remember one word: Seaboard.
Welcome back, everyone. Nate Long, Tim Kenny, Adam Haney here at Doyle Field. We want to thank some people who make this possible. The executive producers of the Page Employment Seaboard Security Game of the Week are Bill and Jerry Baxter, the executive director, Eric Baxter, unit production manager, Scott Baxter, camera crew, Eric and Pam Baxter. You can tell the Baxter family has a lot to do with getting all these games on television, can't you?
I sure do. If it wasn't for them, a lot of kids in Eastern Maine, we wouldn't be able to put these games on if it wasn't for that family.
Impressive drive by Waterville that time, and a couple of them put together in a row now, especially Nathan Lancaster.
Lancaster's really stepped up big in this role. Last year, he was the backup quarterback when their starting quarterback went down. He stepped in, started only 3 games last year. Little did he know that last year's starter was going to be transferring schools. He stepped into this role. He's been a great leader. Waterville's really following in behind him, and they're off to a great start here and off to a great season with him.
Joel Allen's kick is fielded by Caleb Smith. Nice return by Smith, who just saw an opening and took advantage of it. He gets it out to the 41-yard line, and Brewer with decent field position, but we'll see what they can do. They haven't been able to do much offensively so far.
Haven't been able to do anything offensively, and they've got to start the misdirection plays to set up the pass plays and also right up the 5 holes, I would say. They've got to go to their bread and butter, and the offensive line has got to get some push.
Last year they did a lot of misdirections. They also ran the option play, but when you have a quarterback like Porter, like last year, as well as Wilson, the option play is easy to run. This year, not so much, but if you never know, you may see that option play in there once again.
First down and 10 for the Witches. There it is, right on cue. The pitch that time goes to Delray Meeker.
Only problem is there's 5 Waterville players over there on the tackle, not anybody blocking.
We might not see the option play again with the results of that one. Loss of 3, so it's second down and 13.
Brewer fans probably are blaming me on that, talking about the option play. Waterville must have heard me.
Right on cue, but not to the success that they would have liked to have seen.
This Waterville defense, though, they're really showing their experience here today. Really, there's everywhere that ball is, you're going to see 2 or 3 Panthers waiting.
This time they try and go the opposite direction with Meeker. That one didn't work much either, although they do get positive yardage back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
We tried to get something out of it, but
no pass attempts so far for Brewer. Everything's been on the ground.
Last week they did pass a few. They threw 9 passes, completed 4 for 101 yards. They can pass, but we haven't seen it yet, so.
Bobby Coombs split way out. 3rd down and long. They're going to look towards Coombs. And that pass is up for grabs and knocked down. Nathan Lancaster had a chance for an interception on 3rd down, and maybe he thought it was 4th down. I'm not sure, because he was about the only one near that ball.
I bet when he watches the films on Monday morning, he's going to wish he had grabbed that for a rebound and probably tried to take it off to the races with it. But he did what he's probably coached, knocked the ball down.
Yeah.
Here's the ball.
Well, if that's how he was coached, maybe rethink that one on a 3rd down play where
like you said, he might not have known the situation though either, because he definitely should have intercepted that pass.
Well, it'll give Brewer a chance to punt the ball instead of great field position for Waterville. He gets the punt away. Joel Allen bobbles it. The ball's loose and he's down. Allen's down at the 35-yard line. So the Purple Panthers will take over again. They already lead 14-0. They're looking to add more to that score. There's 10:08 left to play in the second quarter. We'll be back after this. You're watching the Page Employment Seaboard Securities Game of the Week. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks to more people making this possible. The audio technician, Sam Hallett and Eric Little. Key grip, Hannah Baxter. Film crew assistants, Chris Simmons, Ryan Hatch, and Shelley Gray. Production assistants, Polly Carey and Linda Baxter. 1st down and 10 for Waterville at their own 35-yard line here in the second quarter. 10:08 left to play, so early on in this one, but Waterville able to move the ball a couple of times in a row, and that's going to continue. Caleb Johnson down the sideline, gets hit out of bounds.
That was Tristan Olmixer, I think, probably with a touchdown save right there as he pushed him out of bounds.
A good hit, but a little too far downfield for Brewer's liking.
Once again, nothing special, just what they've gone all season long. It's the misdirection play, right wide off tackle. Picks up that first blocker, and he just goes to the outside, and as soon as he gets in the clear, it's off to the races.
Brewer's going to take a timeout as Don Furnham wants to talk things over a little bit before this one gets a little further than he'd like to see it. With 10:01 left to play, it's 14-0. Waterville leading. Waterville just moving the ball right there. We've got to thank a few more people. The editing and graphic design done by Robert Oliver. Music by Soundbender and Robert Oliver, and produced by My Video Productions, putting thousands of local students on television. You can get a high-quality DVD of this game if you like. You can do that by contacting Page Employment Seaboard Securities at 991-9615 and ask for Eric Baxter. We're going to take a break, be back after this. You're watching the Page Employment Seaboard Securities Game of the Week. Welcome back, everyone. 1st down and 10 for Waterville. The Purple Panthers give it to Chris Smith right up the middle, breaking tackles. Is anyone going to bring him down? The answer is no. Touchdown, Chris Smith.
46 yards.
A 46-yard touchdown run, and he had many hands on him, but none able to stop him.
And Nate, you made the perfect point. He had many hands and not laying a shoulder into him, wrapping their arms. All they're doing is trying to swing at people, and that's going to be a long night for the Witches if they don't start hitting some people.
6 carries, 107 yards now for Smith.
And that's his first touchdown of the game.
Second
touchdown of the game. That was an impressive run right up the middle.
Another thing I just want to quickly point out, last week, the Waterville defense in the first half held Hamden to 64 total yards. So they're off to a good start here in this game as well.
That extra point attempt by Joel Allen is no good, so it's 20-0, and not 21, but 20-0 here in the second quarter with 9:52 to play is not where Brewer wanted to be.
Not at all. I think they had high expectations of coming into the game, but if they don't stop that misdirection play and then they come back with Smith up the middle, that time, for 46 yards, they've got to really look at the defense and kind of change some things around. I mean, you do come in with a game plan, but when you go up 20-0, Coach Corey there, that's a defensive coordinator, is probably going to have to come up with some different stances or some different alignment on the defense to shut Waterville down.
Well, it makes it real difficult when you had trouble stopping them on the outside and you were going for the play up the middle. So now you change your philosophy and you say, all right, we'll let that guy go up the middle or not worry about that as much. We've got to stop him going around the outside, and here Waterville comes back up and just busts a big one like that.
And that's what they were doing with Wilson and Fitzpatrick. What they did is they were playing on the outside shoulder of the guards, and it's almost like Waterville knows what kind of defense they're going to play at a certain time. As soon as they make adjustments, Waterville's very good at reacting to it and adjusting.
One thing I've also noticed, when Bernhard, Johnson, or Lancaster's carrying it, they are the ones that focus on the outside. Smith, all of his yards have basically been up the middle.
Well,
if that's the case, then they're going to have the linebackers look to see who's in the game for Brewer to kind of pinpoint somebody out.
Waterville will kick off. Back deep to take the kick, Delray Meeker. Cuts back towards the middle, flag down. That's likely a face mask. 2 flags come in and a little pushing afterwards. Another nice return by Meeker. If Brewer's trying to take any positives right now, they can take Meeker's effort on the kick returns.
Did a great job. Jonathan Toms that time setting up a block for him. We'll see what the flags are.
We want to thank Page Employment, Maine's first employment service, a member of the American Staffing Association. They're voted Bangor's #1 staffing agency. Also Seaboard Security, providing uniformed security officers to Maine companies since 1988. Security you can trust. Quality Jewelers, new location at Penobscot Plaza in Bangor. They specialize in fine jewelry, hence the name Quality Jewelers. 9:44 here in the second quarter, 20-0. Waterville leading as we try and straighten out the penalty flags.
Maybe we've got
must have multiple penalties for this
2
long
live
of a
ball
discussion.
fouls, but 1 on each team, so we'll see what's going on here.
For it to take this long, there's got to be somebody's got to bring out their little cheat sheet. And
well, it's not so much that when the boys are huddling, and Neil does a good job of this with his crew. They're just making sure that they get everything correct.
holding against Brewer. Face mask against Waterville. 2 live ball fouls. They'll offset. And how rare? I don't know the last time I saw 2 penalties on a kickoff, 1 on each team, live ball fouls, so we re-kick. And as you just said, not only has that happened once, but now it's twice tonight that we've seen that. That's how many penalties have been in this game for both teams.
Viewer question here for you, Tim. You were talking about the referee crew. Now, like this crew together, will they don't stick together and do games together all season?
No, the assignment is get together twice a year, and what they do is some guys can't work a Friday night or Saturday because, of course, this isn't their professionalism that they do, and they mix and match the crews different weeks, and it also depends on the games of where they need the officials too.
So we re-kick, and this one goes all the way back into the end zone, and that's going to be a touchback. Impressive kick from Joel Allen. Of course, he's kicking this time with what seems to be a rather strong wind, and it's really the only thing that's giving us a chill. But we're going to try and warm up during this break because we got to take one right now. 9:42 to play in the second quarter. Waterville leads 20-0. You're watching the Page Employment Seaboard Securities Game of the Week.
Selection without service would be like sunshine without the warmth. Our jewelers have the experience and the tools to renew, repair, or even create jewelry with the warmth of real quality. We're Quality Jewelers. Browse in our new, larger location in Penobscot Plaza on Washington Street in Bangor.
When you have an important point to make, don't clutter up the ad with all sorts of extra information. If Page Employment doesn't charge workers a fee, then we should just say that. Page Employment doesn't charge workers a fee. No fee. There, we said it.
Welcome back, everyone. Brewer trying to get something going on offense here in the second quarter. Ricky Adams under center. Some movement up front and movement in the backfield. We'll see who this one gets called on. Ryan Roberts definitely moved for Waterville, and then the back moved for Brewer, but this one goes against the defense. Good call.
No
Right call
question
there.
about that time. The defensive player broke the neutral zone before the ball was snapped. You know, the high school kids, we got to remember, and a lot of people will watch the NFL on Sunday and wonder, why can't he get back? Well, to be honest with you, they don't know the rules, but I can tell you there are 98 different variables between high school and college. Forget about the NFL.
The NFL is a totally another game, but that's not even worth talking about. Ricky Adams looking to pass, intercepted, tipped and intercepted by Joel Allen. And Allen tackled at the 30-yard line, so Waterville doing everything right in this first half.
Had a great pass downfield, had Ryan Babin open, went right off his fingertips and fell right into the cornerback's Nathan Lancaster, picking it up. Did a great job of Joel Allen did a great job of keeping his eyes on the ball.
He was able to hang on to it, and Waterville has great field position yet again, this time at the Brewer 30-yard line.
Well, we just were talking before that about Brewer need to get a couple first downs and take some time off the clock as well.
Waterville heading off around the right side, Caleb Johnson. So they ran it up the gut for 46 yards and a touchdown, and then they come out on the next play and they gain 5 yards on going around the outside.
Yeah, great job that time by Chris Janest and Jordan Saloom making the blocks on the right side for Waterville.
Brewer's going to need to really get a defensive stop here. They need something to build some momentum going. I mean, 9-11 left in the second quarter. Still a lot of time to be going here, but they really need to get a defensive stop here and try to build some momentum onto that.
Hand off to Chris Smith. This time he's met at the line and dragged down. Brewer not letting go on that one. It's big number 72, Matt Wilson.
We did a great job from his defensive line position. He held his ground that time, and then he went reaching for a ball player, and great stop that time by the Witches. And that's what they've got to do. He's a senior leader here. He's got to step his game up right now if they're going to make a stance or do anything here in the first half.
That's a good point. The seniors that are on this team, they really need to set the tone now. They need to get these underclassmen, the sophomores. Half this team is sophomores. They need to get them involved, get them going.
Well, Wilson there, I think from what he's seen so far, he knew that if he let go of Smith, that Smith was going to go into the end zone. Under pressure this time. Lancaster, sacked.
Doug Nodden from his cornerback position chases him down to make the nice play. Nice open field tackle that time.
And that'll bring up fourth down. Lancaster back out on the field. That, of course, in high school here, it doesn't mean that they're going to go for it, but likely with the ball where it is on 4th down and 5, Waterville will go for it, and
be an awful long field goal.
Too short to punt.
Yeah. See if they flood the zone like they have.
So that little shotgun with one back behind Lancaster, one guy in motion. Misdirection goes to Caleb Johnson, and he will be close, but I believe he's short.
Looks like the way we can't see where they've spotted the ball, but if it's outside the 20, and yes, they have. Nice stop by the Witches that time.
Doug Nodden making a hit.
Not bad, 2 in a row.
And Brewer will take over after stopping Waterville. They'll take over on downs when we return. 7:31 to play in the second quarter. Waterville leads 20-0. You're watching the Page Employment Seaboard Securities Game of the Week.
Northeastern Log Home's 4-star promise to design the dream home that's perfect for you and your family, to ensure your home will be built with materials of the highest quality and durability and offered at a fair price, to deliver a complete easy build package with more of what you need, like Anderson windows, Owens Corning shingles, and Morgan doors, to provide factory direct expert assistance every step of the way for as long as you own your home.
Come visit us in Kenduskeag and we'll help build your dreams with our experience.
Thinking about buying appliances from a big box store? Dunnett Incorporated invites you to think outside the box. Will they give you free delivery without a mail-in rebate? Dunnett will. Guarantee factory rebates and mail them for you? Dunnett will. How about a free range or dryer cord with your purchase? Dunnett will. Free LP conversion with your new gas range or dryer? Dunnett will. Knowledgeable salespeople and service after the sale? Well, you get the picture. For selection, service, and real savings, think outside the box. Think Dunnett Incorporated, Penobscot Plaza, Bangor.
First down and 10 for the Witches. Brewer running to the right side.
Great lead block that time by number 55, Ralph Kamek.
Matt Wilson was out there as well. They had a couple of big linemen leading the way.
Well, that's what they need to do. They need that little power football where they smash it around, picked up 6 yards on that play.
Number 64, Nick Gatz on the tackle.
We've seen Brewer often with a nice pickup on first down, setting themselves up for 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5, but a lot of times it's been this next play that's really cost them. And it'll cost them again because they're likely going to move back 5 yards.
Jumping before the gun. Looks like the slot back jump before the snap.
So that basically negates the good gain you just have, and now you got 2nd down and long. It's like you didn't get anything on first.
They picked up 6 yards. And, well, basically now it's, like you said, it's a 1 yard gain. Now it puts them in a 2nd and 9 situation.
Brewer so far has only put together 22 total yards, and all of that was on the ground so far.
Short run, they try to go to the right side, but that one closed up quickly. One of the guys there for Waterville, Nick Gatz. Jordan Shulman there as well.
He did a great job that time coming from his nose guard position that time, defensive tackle, and just fought his own man that looked like straight one-on-one blocking. He just got rid of him and met him on the line of scrimmage.
So it's 3rd down and 9. Clock ticking with approaching 6 minutes left to go in the first half. Ricky Adams, play action, rolls to his right, gets the pass away, had a man open but couldn't find him, incomplete. He was trying to get the ball to Ryan Babin.
Yeah, great play. They tried it last time, had one guy come out, fullback slide out in the flats, Babin come out, do a little quick slant out of about 12 yards, but once again he was rushed and hurried and couldn't make the connection.
Looks like a couple of passes by Adams, he's having a hard time gripping the ball or something. Looks like it slipped out of his hands, that one that was almost just a fly pop-up. And then that one there, it still looked like it was slipping out of his hands. So you got to wonder if there's something on the ball, if the water dew is getting on the ball, because he's struggling right now. On the punt return, Joel Allen gets it into Brewer territory, and once again, the Purple Panthers will start in Brewer territory at the 42-yard line this time. 5:45 to play in the second quarter, 20-0 Waterville. You're watching the Page Employment Seaboard Securities Game of the Week. Good crowd on hand here in Brewer as the Witches trying to do something to impress all those fans right there. One thing would be to stop quarterback Nathan Lancaster, and they're finally able to do it on that first down play after another big pickup and another Waterville first down.
Just a simple they faked Brewer out with the misdirection play. He held it, delayed, waited for his block, and went right up the middle for 14 yards, I believe, on that play.
We want to thank Carefree Windows and Siding for all your siding, window, and roofing needs. Everyone at Carefree wishes a successful football season. First down and 10 again at the 27. Bernhardt gets the call. Cuts back across the middle, and he'll walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Waterville.
That's just straight, pure running. That's what a great back does. He runs around the right side, nothing going, cuts back against the grain, and he takes off for a 34-yard scamper.
This one getting quickly out of reach for the Witches as it's 26-0. Waterville leads. That was an impressive run again. As you mentioned, he had a big hole on the right side, but he cut back at the right time, get everyone over pursuing, picked up one block as he was going downfield, and he gets into the end zone.
That's all he does. That's what a great back does, is learns how to cut. You can tell he's a great back. Anytime you can cut back against the grain like that and get yourself on one-on-one situation, and then it's just heading into the end zone. Nothing but a foot race, and he won at that time.
Joel Allen to attempt the point after. That kick is good. So it's 27-0. Waterville leads with 5:12 to play in the second quarter. Can Brewer get something together? We'll find out after this break. You're watching the Page Employment Seaboard Securities Game of the Week. Welcome back, everyone. The Purple Panthers of Waterville so far having their way with the defending Class B state champion, the Brewer Witches. Waterville kicks off to Delray Meeker. And Meeker gets brought down. Of course, we have a flag coming in. It's become rather standard between these two teams.
The first half, we've seen the yellow flags all over the field here.
It's actually not too far of a stretch to wonder whether there have been more points or flags thrown in this game so far. 27 points.
Yeah, and what? They scored 36 unanswered points, Waterville did in week number 1 in the first half, and they could be on the mark here to do it again. And, of course, Brewer gets a pretty decent run. And once again, before the second play, like we've talked about, we have an illegal block in the back, and that's going to move them back inside the 15-yard line.
If Waterville didn't scare people when they saw them on their schedule before this game, this is going to make some other teams realize that Waterville could be one of those teams that's you don't want to see coming up next week.
No, and it'll be interesting as the road, as we talk about. The coaches don't like to, but we can talk down the road.
Oh, we're allowed. We're allowed.
Right.
We're expected.
I want to see the Waterville-Winslow game when that comes to town, because that would be a phenomenal football game.
First down and 10. Can Brewer get something going, get themselves back in this one? On first down, they run to the left for a short gain.
Well, they did a great job that time. Lancaster over there, LePage, and Waterville's just holding their ground right now. They're beating Brewer off the ball right now. Their defensive line is a lot more quicker.
Both these teams picked by the Portland Press Herald to make the playoffs. Winslow, as we mentioned earlier, you were looking forward to a Waterville-Winslow matchup. Winslow was actually the team picked to win the Class B state championship this year.
Well, I'm not going to count one of these teams out of it, especially the team in white right now.
Second down and 9. Play action. Adams completes this pass. Number 49, Ryan Babin on the catch.
Well, that's the third or fourth time that they've used that play, and finally Adams makes his first connection of the ball game, I believe. Mr. Babin
goes to his tight end that time, and that was also the best throw we've seen from Adams. So
I think he had to hold the ball just a little extra, just a second, to make sure he had it before he released it that time.
It's first down and 10, Witches.
Brewer will probably want to try to get in a hurry-up offense here with 4 minutes to go. They want to get a score, have some momentum going into halftime.
They'd love to put something on the board before halftime. Quick handoff, quick hitter up the middle.
Looked like number
Tim
17,
Bush.
Timmy Bush, but once again, there's 4 or 5 Waterville players right in there to make the tackle.
One of them is Ryan Roberts. Now, Roberts wasn't listed as a starter, but when we talked before the game with Frank Knight, he said, well, of course we have starters. You have to have guys who start the game, but they just rotate guys in and out, and really he didn't see much of a difference between whether it's Paul LePage or Ryan Roberts right there playing the nose.
Yeah, he said he's got 2 or 3 people, actually 4 people that can play his defensive tackle positions.
That's always a nice thing for a coach, be able to move guys in and out like that. Second down and 8. Adams is brought down, and it looked like they're trying to run the option, but Adams wasn't able to get around the outside. Caleb Johnson, nice hit from this defensive end spot.
Also tells me if he can do that, he's got quite a bit of depth on that team too.
So it's third down and 6. Clock continuing to roll. We're at 3 minutes left to go in the first half.
Well, Brewer on the misdirection play has been very unsuccessful tonight. So like Adam said, they're going to have to try to put the ball out in the flats or go deep here to try to get something on the board here in the first half.
Adams trying to get away, but does not. Dragged down from behind by Chris Smith.
Caleb Johnson that time had him in the backfield, just couldn't quite grab the handle to bring him down.
Adams did a good job breaking the first tackle. He almost broke away from that second tackle. He just didn't have enough when the third defender came along.
So it brings up 4th down, and Dylan Fitzpatrick on to punt the ball away. Joel Allen and Caleb Johnson back to return. They stand at their 35. High snap. Good job by Fitzpatrick to grab that one. A high punt, and takes a Brewer bounce. Well, that went right for Brewer. Down at the 31-yard line. Waterville will have a chance with 1:57 to play here in the first half. They lead at 27-0 already. Can they get more? We'll find out. You're watching the Page Employment Seaboard Securities Game of the Week. Welcome back, everyone, on first down. Waterville keeps the ball on the ground. Caleb Johnson, the carrier.
Great kick-out block that time by Waterville's number 64, Nick Gates. Did a great job of kicking his man to the outside.
2nd down and 6, gain of 4. And, well, one thing we noticed with the clock running, it's down to 1:30. It doesn't seem like Waterville's in that big of a hurry, which we're rather thankful about. But they do have Lancaster in the shotgun, who rolls out to his right. Gets under pressure now, but gets away from one tackle. Loses the ball and then ends up falling on it. We'll see who recovers. The ball's now loose and goes out of bounds. I believe Lancaster got the ball and then was down. And then it definitely came out again, but it'll be 3rd down.
Great job that time by Anthony Noe on a rush that time to flush him out of the pocket. One of the things Brewer hasn't been able to do here in the first half.
They did put the pressure on, and Lancaster wasn't able to hang on to the ball. So actually, Waterville lucky that he was able to get down on it, because they could have set up Brewer for a chance, at least an opportunity at a quick score here in the
And after him not gripping the ball, that tells me that there's going to be a lot of condensation on the field, and that football is going to have a lot of dew on it right now.
Clock is stopped here with 31 seconds left, and we have a timeout taken by Waterville. We'll take the timeout as well. Waterville leads 27-0. You're watching the Page Employment Seaboard Securities Game of the Week.
1928 Bangor Tire was founded on simple concepts, offer quality products, price them right with service second to none. Vehicles have changed a lot over the years, and Bangor Tire leads the way with today's best products and service, like Cooper Tires, Monroe Shocks and Struts, and Walker Exhaust Parts. And the Shine Shop will make your pride and joy shine like new. So whether your car or truck needs brakes, a front end alignment, exhaust, some TLC, or the best in tire service, count on the folks you've trusted for 70 years. Bangor Tire Company.
Security. You know what it means. And now you know where to find it. Seaboard. If you're responsible for a school, business, healthcare facility, or any other organization, the only word you need to know when it comes to keeping your facility secure is Seaboard. Because your students, customers, patients, employees, all the people who depend on you can depend on us. You just have to remember one word: Seaboard.
Welcome back, everyone. We want to thank a few of the sponsors. Bangor Optical, with locations in Bangor. Check out their new office, Eye Center Optical, located in the Weber Building by EMMC in Bangor. Jim's Small Engine, for all your engine repairs, along with sales and service. Bangor Tire, caring for all your automobile needs. Da Vinci Signs, when quality matters, located Pinewood Business Park in Herman. And Dunnett's Incorporated, they're located at the Penobscot Plaza in Bangor. Dunnett's has done it again. 31 seconds left to go here in the first half. Waterville having their way so far, 27-0. It's 3rd down and 10.
And the key thing that that you brought up, Nate, which is a wonderful point, is second down plays for Waterville has been very successful. Second down plays from Brewer, they haven't been. They've had encroachment penalties. They haven't been able to pick up anything on second down, and that's been the difference here in the first half, is between both teams.
So it's 3rd down and 10. Lancaster, one of the senior captains, right up the middle. Breaking tackles is Chris Smith. Chris Smith picks up a first down and more. Huge gain on 3rd down and 10. A simple dive play. He didn't even have a lead blocker going through the line. He just picked the hole, ran through it, and then broke some tackles.
But it's the same thing, and that's the key word. He broke some tackles again. Brewer has got to put the shoulder pads on him, and they've got to drop low and wrap the arms.
Waterville hurrying to the line.
Notice Smith went right through the middle again. That seems to be the place where he is dominant for this Waterville team, is in the middle.
Lancaster to pass. Looking deep, incomplete. So there's 14 seconds left to play.
Well, he wanted all or nothing out there for the senior, number 7, Tyler Josephs. Looks like he was going for the kill in the end zone that time.
Caleb Smith was the closest one to the ball. The problem is he plays for Brewer. He did have a lot on the throw, maybe a little too much, because
he overthrew him by 5
I think they might have had a misunderstanding there, because he slowed up and turned and looked, and when he turned, that's when he realized, this thing's over my head.
And that's one thing that you tell the wide receivers, don't stop running.
Keep running.
You do not stop running whatsoever.
2nd down and 10. Another pass coming from Lancaster. Goes to the same sideline and incomplete. Once again intended for Joseph. 9 seconds left. Brings up 3rd down.
Lancaster has a good arm on him.
He does. He's got a strong foot, too. I mean, he's a very powerful kid. Well, looks like probably one more shot to the end zone.
So it's 3rd down and 10. There hasn't been much to cheer about for the home side here, the Brewer fans.
No,
they're looking for something. Everyone's still here. A lot of people here. It seemed like a sparse crowd at first, but I couldn't imagine it being sparse. It's so nice out.
At the beginning, at 7 o'clock. Sometimes it's hard for parents and people to get here from work, but we looked up with 4 minutes into the first quarter. The whole side of Brewer was packed.
Play action. Lancaster keeps it, and he gets brought down with 2 seconds. 1, and we have a timeout with 1 second left on the game clock.
Looks like Waterville's trying to get another touchdown here before halftime.
They sure are, because it's 4th down here. They ran the ball.
I first thought maybe Lancaster was trying to get it in close enough. Maybe they'd have a chance at a field goal. He didn't. I don't think he got it close enough. So
no, because we're looking at a 50-yard field goal.
We'll have the final play of the first half after this break. You're watching the Page Employment Seaboard Securities Game of the Week. Last play of the first half, barring a penalty, which is certainly no guarantee the way this first half has gone. Nathan Lancaster back to pass, gets the pass away, incomplete, overthrowing his intended target. That's Caleb Johnson, so that's how the half ends. Not the way Brewer wanted it to, at least score-wise. 27-0, Waterville leads at the end of the first half. We're going to be back with the Brewer cheerleaders right after this during halftime. You're watching the Page Employment Seaboard Securities Game of the Week.
Jim Small Engines on Snow's Corner Road in Orrington has what you need when it comes to tackling yard work. Whether you're looking for expert service and repair from guys with more years of experience than they may care to admit, or if you're in the market for a new mower, snow blower, string trimmer, generator, or pressure washer, Jim Small Engines on Snow's Corner Road in Orrington is the right place to go. Call Jim Small Engines at 825-3527 or visit them on the web at jimsmallengines.com.
When you have an important point to make, don't clutter up the ad with all sorts of extra information. If Page Employment doesn't charge workers a fee, then we should just say that. Page Employment doesn't charge workers a fee. No fee. There, we said it.